そうしましたらカメメは何かありますか質問。
この中、僕とヒカルとレインさんとの試合以外で思い出のあるっていうか、覚えてる試合というか、なんか印象に残ってる試合って確かに
聞きたい。
Do you have any strong impression from a Japanese player or a match or any memory outside of these three players? Kameme, Hikaru, Rain.
Ever? Dude, there are so many.
すごくいっぱいあります。
I really. Oh, sorry. You can say that part first.
I already did. So go ahead.
That was fast. Because I mean, it goes all the way back to Brawl, right? Where I had a really close set with Otori at Apex 2012. I got demolished by Neotono that same tournament, and I had the crazy Ice Climbers mirror match versus Kakera. So that tournament by itself, and I also played Rain that tournament. Like, I played so many Japanese players then. Also, when I played QB at Skatar 3 in the Ice Climbers mirror match. So I was winning game 4 and I was up 2-1, I think, or it was game 3 and it was 1-1, and I killed his Nana and I grabbed his Popo with both of my climbers, and I went for a disrespectful chain grab, which in America was called the hobble, which was like back throw or forward throw into footstool, into ice block, into re-grab, do that, and it was just a really slow chain grab. So it was disrespectful. I messed it up, and then he gave me like 100% and killed my Nana before I was able to take his stock with Popo. And then he ended up winning the set, and I feel like if I had beat him, if I didn't do that game, I would have won the set. Then he would have beat, I forget whoever made it to losers finals, and then I would have won the tournament. And that's probably it for Brawl. So then I guess you can translate that, and then I'll do the Smash 4 and Ultimate ones after.
なるほどね。
やってもってるやんじゃん。
そうだね。ちょっとかっこいいミセプみたいなことも含めつつね、やろうと思ったらあだとなっちゃったっていう感じなわけだね。
はい。そこまでがスマブラ X です。So you can go on to Smash 4 part.
まあ出てくる人だね、X の名前が。
実はそれこそ本当にニエトロさん呼ぼうと思ってたんですよ。ちょっとスケジュール的に合わなかったんですけど、まあESAMだったらいろんな話あるだろうなと思ってたんですけれども、まあそのニエトロさんの名前も出てきて、やっぱすごいね。さっきちょろっと話してたけど、全員ってやっぱストーリーがあるからすごいなと思います。
You have quite a big story with many Japanese players. That explains how long you have been in this competitive scene.
Yes. I've been playing for a long time. And again, I have such a high level of respect for so many, like a lot of top players, but I understand, especially back then, how hard it was to travel because the tournaments were small, the prize pools were small. So the fact that the Japanese players would like consistently, at least once every year, once every 6 months, come out to tournaments was really impactful and special to me, because I knew that they were doing it just out of the love of the game and the love of competing more so than the prize pool, because they would probably lose money traveling even if they won the event. That was a very different culture than the United States, and I'm still guilty of this now, where I will sometimes go to the easier tournaments that less people are going to make more money. So it always struck me as very honorable.
お金大事だからね。
そうだね。
いやいいと思う。
そうだね。日本はもらえないのになっつって。俺はいいのかな。
哀れまれてる。
The prize money is important. They feel the same way.
そうか。I don't know if it was my first time playing any Japanese players in Smash 4, but at a Frame Perfect series, I had to play Ranai, Gambaranai, which I knew about him because he, in Brawl, played a ton of characters, and he was so strong with multiple, and he was ironically, or I'm thinking of the wrong person, I've had this story wrong the whole time. He was a very strong Pikachu player, and he played very different from me, and even though I still thought I was better than him, he used a couple of moves for Pikachu in a very different way than I did, and I kind of stole that from him. And then my results got a lot better after I watched that. So the first time I had to play his villager, I was already kind of, I don't know if this is a phrase in Japanese, but like starstruck, where I was like, oh my god, this is the person that the Pikachu player from Japan, which was such a weird statement because there were very few good Pikachus in Brawl in Japan. I think of, but like the level difference was quite large. No disrespect. So when I played Renai, our sets was so good. We ended up playing twice, both at Frame Perfect Series and at CEO, and we had really good sets both times. It was a lot of fun because you know, I'm someone that even when I lose, assuming I don't get like destroyed, right? Like I don't get two stocked over and over, I'm getting bodied. I looked up an old video of Renai's Pikachu, and I just posted a screenshot in the chat of me 10 years ago complimenting him that he used one of my techniques. So I'm not lying about this, I swear. Unless Gambaranai and Renai are different people.
That's the same person. And
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
ディスコードにスクリーン
送られてきてますね。
はい。Do you mean that it was your video from 10 years ago?
It was him playing against a Meta Knight. It's Ceresia
セルシアさん。はい。
versus
懐かしいし、
10 years
よくこ
ago.
んなの見てて
And
ね
it。says like he used down throw up air footstool. That makes me happy because that was I invented that. So I'm not pulling that story out of my
検索すればいい。
あ、
ass.
ラナイスレシアってこと？
そう。これを見て、全然違うなってなったってこと。
これ10年前のイーサムのコメントがどっか、はい、
本当だ、イーサムコメントしてる。
対セルシアっていう試合で、そのピカチュウでその空下踏みつけとかおっしゃってましたっけ？
多分下投げ空へ踏みつけとか。
下投げ空へ、はいは
なんかあったね。
い、をしていて、こんなのあるんだとかをそのイーサムが書き込んでるので、まあ今話したことあったが嘘とか誇張ではなくって、そういうことがありました。
ちょっと待って、この画像を持ってるっていうのがすごくないですか？すごい好きでいてくれる。
だから最初は頑張らないとラナイ村人が同じだとは気づかなかった。
なるほどなるほど、そうかそうか。
日本やとなんかニュアンスで確かにちょっとわかるけど、
イーサムさっきもおっしゃってましたけど、日本人の方ね、いろんな理由あってすごくリスペクトしてますと言ってたんですけど、日本人もリスペクトされてるのもなんとなく分かってるし、イーサムにねリスペクトされてるってそういう、方だっていうのもあるから、日本人からのリスペクトも多分すごいじゃないですか。
めっちゃ日本人気すごいと思う。
そうだね、
本当にすごい。
イーサムって、
いやだってね、長年ねピカチュウでずっと世界一って言われてるプレイヤーだから、
そうだね。
ピカチュウみんなでイーサム。
それももう伝わってるっていうのはちょっと相葉さんから伝えていただきたいなと思います。
Japanese players respect you a lot too. From this way, so you're very popular among Japanese fans because you've been playing Pikachu for a long time and has been winning tournaments.
ありがとう。ありがとうございました。
そう多分日本人からも陽気なのがすごい伝わって、
あ、そうだね。
すごく愛されるキャラ。
そうだね。
本当に日本人もみんな思ってる。
人柄が出てるよね。と思います。
Yes, you are very positive minded. You're very energetic, and we can feel that from your tournaments. The Japanese people, the Japanese fan can feel that from tournament scenes. So fans like that very much.
ありがとうありがとう。Pikachu is so much fun, and it's been interesting to be able to connect to a character for so long. And of course, he's been good for at least since Brawl. Right, like Melee is his weakest game in my opinion, and he's still relatively viable. I mean, Axe just top 8'd a major this weekend, so it's been nice to be able to kind of become one with the character. And I know, obviously, Pikachu being a huge mascot in general for video games, definitely helped get eyes on me, which wasn't intentional, but it's a nice side effect of just like, oh, Pikachu, Smash Bros, ESAM, and that's kind of the line. So
代名詞だと思います。さあ皆さんね、いい話はここまでにしましょうか。
So we talked a lot about memories. So let's go on to a tier list if you don't have anything missed.
行きましょうよ。
there's a lot that I could talk about, but it's fine. We can cut it off. I just have a lot of respect for a lot of players. So just in general, much love to the Japanese scene.
いやもう本当にそれはもう重々と
本当に
大昔からありがとうございます。本当に
ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございます。